Europa Park is consistently voted one of the best theme parks in the entire world, and after only visiting the park twice, I can see why. This place is incredible, and in this video I'll be reviewing the park, as well as giving you some advice along the way. If you do end up enjoying this review, please consider subscribing and liking the video, I really do appreciate it. But anyway, I hope you enjoy. This is my review of Europa Park. Europa Park is located in Rust, within Germany, and is home to 13 different roller coasters, as well as a huge number of attractions for their guests to enjoy. The park is split up into different European countries, and what impressed me the most about this park was how good the theming was. Each area had its own little quirks and hidden details for you to discover. I also loved the architecture in particular. For example, the Switzerland area had narrow pathways with typical Swiss buildings on either side, and it honestly felt like I was back in Switzerland. However, my favourite designated area of Europa Park would probably be the France section. Not only because of the rides, which I'll get onto in a second, but simply because it was a wonderful place to sit down or walk around in. There were fountains, lots of street performers, and the music? Wow! I was just lost for words. But the great thing is, it's not just the France section that had good music. Most, if not all of the attractions that I rode at the park had their own designated soundtrack. And when you're walking around the place, the music helped build a fantastic atmosphere. And you know, very few parks have been able to immerse me in an experience, as well as Europa Park did. But now, let's talk about some of the standout attractions at the park. As far as big thrill coasters go, Europa Park doesn't have a huge collection. The three main coasters at the park are Silver Star, Woden and Blue Fire. Silver Star is the largest, standing 240 foot tall, and it has lots of sustained flow-to-airtime hills. Woden is themed to Norse mythology and provides a fast-paced wooden roller coaster experience. Blue Fire was the prototype Mack thrill coaster, and whilst it's not as good as the likes of Helix or Icon, I love the inversions on this ride, as well as the rock work around the coaster itself. All other coasters at the park are family orientated, but that doesn't mean they're not well themed. Eurosat Can-Can coaster, for example, is an indoor coaster themed to, well, the Can-Can. Or like Euromir, a spinning coaster with an epic soundtrack that's themed to Russian space stuff. Yeah, seriously though, that soundtrack is really good. The final major family coaster I want to discuss is Arthur. This is probably one of the best family coasters in the world. I won't spoil anything here, but just be sure to ride it. This is a must-do attraction at the park. Away from the coasters for a second, Europa Park has quite a few dark rides, including Snorri Torin, Cassandra's Curse, which is really a madhouse, but I'd consider it a dark ride, Madame Freudenreich, Atlantic Adventure, and my favourite on park and my second favourite dark ride ever, Pirates in Batavia. They also have a flying theatre in Voletarium, an attraction I didn't manage to ride, but I'm sure there's reviews of it elsewhere. I will mention that one of the best attractions at the park isn't a roller coaster or a dark ride, but rather this observation tower. The views are amazing from up there, and the music makes the experience quite relaxing. I highly advise you go check it out. If the weather's getting hot or you just want to get wet, the park has a lot of water rides. They have two water coasters in Atlantica Super Splash and Poseidon. They're both great rides in their own right, and I'd really like to see one of these at Alton Towers in the future. Other water rides include a log flume and a rapids ride. I didn't manage to ride them because they were closed during Christmas and the queues were very long in the summertime. Be sure to check out the park's website for a list and description of all their attractions. Have a look at the ones I didn't mention in this review. Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention is that operations are ridiculously good. Like, I consecutively recorded dispatches at less than 40 seconds on Bluefire. That is world class. In terms of how long I advise your visit should be, I'd spend 2 days or more at this theme park. Don't do what I did on my first visit, where I stayed for 1 day and didn't quite manage to get on everything I wanted to. Then again, in hindsight, that visit was like a teaser for my next trip, which was in the summer of 2020. But yeah, Europa Park is so big and filled with so many rides that you honestly can't do it all in 1 day. But the final aspect of the park I want to talk about is whether it's worth making a trip out there at all. And also, how does Europa Park compare to other theme parks that I've been to? Rust, the town which Europa Park is practically in, is close to the border between France and Germany. If you live quite far away, getting a flight to the nearest major town and then taking a bus to the park is probably your best bet. Driving to the park is quite accessible as it's close to a main road, and it really just depends on how far you're willing to drive. If you want to visit by train, the Ringsheim railway station is 4 miles away, in other words, 6 kilometers. Europa Park is one of the best theme parks in Europe, that's undeniable. But is it my favourite though? I don't know. It's really close between Europa Park and the Efteling. They're both amazing parks in their own right, and I actually have a separate review for the Efteling on the channel. It just so happens to be my best video, so please go check it out at the end of this video. In conclusion, Europa Park is perfect for families because it has so many different attractions aimed at people of all ages. The staff are amazing, the rides are great, and the theming is top notch. I honestly cannot find any major faults with this park. I guess maybe another thrill coaster would be nice, but they're building something for 2023 or 2024, I can't quite remember, so you never know. And if I haven't stated this enough, I highly advise making a trip out to this theme park. You've been watching Stubwood, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.